Hello and welcome to Talking Defense, Rafael's Defense Magazine. Every program will be dedicated to a different subject with all relevant experts, data and aspects here in the studio and from around the world. Today, SAMSON Remote Controlled Weapon Station. With me in the studio are Lurie, Vice President and Head of Maneuverability Systems at Rafael, Colonel Guy Bitton, Marketing Manager, Land Maneuver Systems Directorate within the Land and Naval Division at Rafael. And from the US joins us Colonel Kmiecik, former Program Manager, Maneuver Requirement Division at the Maneuver Capability Development and Integration Directorate. Thank you, gentlemen, all for joining me today. Mr. Lurie, we'll start with you. What exactly is SAMSON RCWS?
SAMSON RCWS is a family of weapon stations. Rafael has been making these weapon stations for over 30 years. We started with low caliber weapons, 7.62, 5.56, and in the last 10 years, we've been making larger weapons, 30 millimeters. It started as something that enables soldiers to shoot from inside the vehicle. And in the last year, it has become a very complex system, okay, enabling sometimes to substitute tanks in fighting in urban terrain and also not in urban terrains. The system is aimed at enhancing the lethality of the infantry soldier in IFVs and also in APCs. But except for enhancing the lethality that comes with high accuracy shooting to ranges of about 1,500 or 2,000 meters, we've added other capabilities as well. Situational awareness, protection using APS systems and a high protection armor, and thus making it an entire combat system that is not only shooting, but does other things as well.
It's a system which was actually developed within Rafael. Why? Prior to the request from the forces.
Right. Rafael works very closely with the IDF, understanding the needs of the soldiers and bringing them solutions to these needs. One of the needs was fighting from within a fighting vehicle, not only tanks, but also IFVs and APCs. We wanted to enable the soldiers to shoot from inside the vehicle under the protection of the vehicle. That was the initial idea that we were pursuing. Later on, we understood the potential that not only from shooting from inside, which is a great thing and very important to an infantry soldier so he doesn't get hurt, but also enabling other things. We've added computers into the system. We've added tracking devices into the electro-optics. So today, the soldier inside the vehicle, which can be a tracked or a wheeled vehicle, can both shoot to long distances and understand the fighting arena he is in. He has a lot of electro-optic sensors that tell him where he is, and he is very protected.
Guy Bitton, coming from the field, why is it actually needed, and what is it good? You know, you served, I know you from the Gaza area, for example. Put me on the ground.
This is the biggest change that the infantry make the last 2 decades, from vehicle that can take you from point A to point B to firepower. The infantry need firepower. It's not bring me from point A to point B. I'm gonna leave my vehicle and I will start to fight like before 20 or 50 years ago. Now I have a vehicle with firepower. I can fight with the tanks and with other vehicles, and I can maneuver with all the other vehicles.
Which platforms is it good for?
The SAMSON family can fit in any platform, from 8.8 vehicle to track vehicle, heavy vehicle. We have a few kind of system. We have the biggest system that can fit we call it all-in-one, with the missile, with the trophy system, and with all the other sensors. And if it's small vehicle like Striker or like 8x8, different 8x8, it's a 30 millimeter turret, very small, very light, that can shoot 1,500 or 2,000 meters.
So, Mr. Kmiecik in the US, thank you very much for joining us. Talking about the US Army platforms and the potential combination with the SAMSON, tell us a bit about that.
Well, there are a lot of great opportunities that the SAMSON provides, in particular, because it comes as an integrated solution. There's a lot of weight savings and weight gains that you get given that. And then you couple that with the great capability of having a medium caliber cannon, a coaxial machine gun. You can have a missile. You can have a protection system such as the Trophy APS, which just provides an overall protection for the vehicle. It gives these infantry vehicles and smaller vehicles within the Army inventory a great opportunity to be able to fight alongside the heavy armor. So as you look at the inventory right now, as you look at the Striker platform, as you look at AMPV possibly in the future, as you look at the Army's optionally manned fighting vehicle or the Bradley replacement that's coming up, those are all possibilities. And even such things, the Army's just starting to look at what they call the ELRV, the Electric Light Reconnaissance Vehicle, and is talking with the requirements director for that this morning. They're looking at having medium caliber coupled with missile capability, coupled with sensors and probably some protection.
Yes.
So it's that type of thing that SAMSON provides.
So take me to your battlefields. We've seen in the past few years, Iraq or Afghanistan. How would it change the average infantry soldier's life?
Well, it gives you, particularly as you start looking at the urban areas within those two theaters, it gives the infantrymen a much greater punch and firepower and support of what they're doing. And I wouldn't even concentrate on just Iraq and Afghanistan. As you start looking towards Indo-PACOM theater, as the Army is shifting, U.S. Army is shifting focus towards Indo-PACOM, you have a lot of urban terrain where you need fighting vehicles in support of infantry as they're moving through that urban terrain. Having a turret, an integrated turret such as this, gives you the protection for the vehicle from those RPGs and shoulder-fired ATGMs that you see proliferating throughout that region, as well as the punch that the infantry needs to support them with their own missiles and their own medium caliber cannons.
And Miki, Lurie, back to you. Which countries deployed SAMSON, and what future do you see for that? Because probably many people see us and say, is it good for us? Isn't it good for us?
We have SAMSON deployed in over 25 countries. In the different operational in over 25 countries. Of course, the first country was Israel, and here we saw battle and combat, and I think that the lessons learned here enabled us to build a better system for other countries as well. And in the future, right now, we're building turrets for the Lithuanian country, for the Lithuanian military, and we're competing in Spain, in Bulgaria, and as Rocky said, for the Striker program in the US. We have another country that we're supplying right now, a turret. I can't talk about that specific country, but that country took the turret to the maximum, and I think you heard it throughout this interview.
And is it good for every army anywhere around the world?
I think that every army, everywhere in the world, can find the type of SAMSON that works for it, okay? From the lower level, from the smallest one that can fit on a 4x4 vehicle, up to the all-in-one turret that is good for heavy IFVs. I think that it's something you have to have for fighting today.
So, Guy, I take you back to the field. Being a commander, leading your soldier, on one hand you have the mission, on the other hand you have the lives of your soldiers. You have to, balance between the two. SAMSON should change that, changes that balance.
So it doesn't matter if you are squad commander or brigade commander. The mission is the most important. The mission. I think if you have a SAMSON, 30 millimeter, smaller, bigger, it doesn't matter. If you have a SAMSON, your company, your squad, much more lethality, much more survivability, and you can reach your mission much better. You can protect your mission. Just imagine 30 vehicle with 30 millimeter, how it's make a big difference if you maneuver to Sajaya in Gaza, Iraq or Afghanistan. It's make a big, big change to reach the mission. After that, do your best to bring your soldier home.
Rocky, last question to you. I mean, this system sounds like one which actually transforms the infantry into some kind of armored forces.
Yes, and I think the biggest thing as we go through the discussion, it's much like as you look at what we did with the Bradley infantry fighting vehicle, which was a medium caliber cannon, turret with a tow missile. We've come to realize that that's the direction that we need to go to support our infantry. And as we look towards the future vehicles, you know, being able to get an integrated solution like this, like the SAMSON, which pulls the apps up onto the turret, has it integrated in with lethality. So you have lethality and protection together. It's just a great combination to support the infantry.
Gentlemen, Rocky Kmiecik, Miki, Lurie, Guy Bitton, thank you very much all for joining me. And that's all from us today. We'll be back shortly with another edition of Talking Defense. Until then, stay safe and stay tuned. Bye-bye.